I could not load my save because it had lost its ability to run my mods.
EWR123 asks, as modders, does it irritate you when someone just recolors an outfit and calls it a mod? Not really, no. But I don't know about paint.
Honestly, I don't mind. I like to think that by providing something that is, of rather one-to-one parity with the base game, we are inviting people to create retextures and things like that. Obviously, same as with the base game, you're not always going to get a high-quality retexture. You might get something that's total shit, but, I like to spur the creativity of people.
Dog Neely asks, what do you think of Tumba Jumba's combat power armor? I think it's good with a high texture mod. I plan when in my next playthrough of the game, I plan on putting it onto the load order, the level list with the gunners, because I don't know. I think it's pretty good, but I probably change the stats quite a bit. But other than that, Peyton, what do you think of it?
I actually haven't played with it. I don't really have a lot of mods for Fallout 4. My initial thoughts are, it's cool that he did that. It's nice to see, and it's a nice rehash. But, usually I don't give too much, thought to things that are merged from existing assets.
What are your hobbies other than modding? Mine is figure customization and sell them sometimes for funds. That's interesting. Yeah, cool. Well, I like writing, but they tend to be for mods. But I also like writing for other things, and I also like drawing. And will you implement enclave patrols out in the wastes, or no? No. I think the enclave are done. Dog Melee, a modder without a lot of mods. Yeah, that tends to be more common than you think, Dog Melee, because we need to test the mods. And if we have too many mods, it might, break our own mod. Not to mention in Fallout 4, if you have a mod with keywords and you have a lot of other mods with keywords, they might have a crash and overflow. So, EWR123 asks your thoughts on the DLC revealed so far and whether you're looking forward to a certain one. I don't know. I like Automatron, and the next mod looks cool. I think they've got a good niche down, and Far Harbor looks interesting. I can already tell from Automatron they're adding far more ways to resolve quests, which is really great. For Fallout 4, that wasn't necessarily the case, and in Automatron they're adding ways to resolve the quests. I can tell they're still pretty cynical about lore. They pretty much abandoned making lore a significant part of the story since Skyrim, which is fair. And so I don't think you're going to have any very lore-intensive DLC upcoming, compared to the New Vegas DLC. But who knows? I don't know if there was a big sentiment during Skyrim that Morrowind was much better and stuff like that, and then they ended up doing the Dragonborn DLC to kind of evoke that. I would really hate for them to try and do a New Vegas inspired DLC. I like that game, but I don't think and I like Bethesda, but I don't think they're the people to try and capture that kind of game. It's just not the right type of people. So I think what DLC will come up is dependent upon how DLC are received. So, but it's really good that they're adding different resolutions to quests. I really like that.
What about you, Dylan?
I think he's gone.
What about me?
Oh, no, he's there. What are your thoughts on the current and planned DLCs?
Far Harbor sounds kind of interesting. Bethesda, I really never know what they're gonna do. They've been pretty tight-lipped about what their other planned DLCs are besides what they've released. The Automatron was cool. I like the way they explained the Mechanist being in the Commonwealth. Not quite sure what they're gonna do next.
Yeah, I don't know, but I am honestly really looking forward to it. My favorite thing so far has been the features that were kind of cut.
I've been hard on them in the past, especially for things like the Havoc physics being so what they were. But I'm pretty happy with Fallout 4. I think they did a good job. It runs good. The impulse feels a lot smoother in the physics. The models and everything looks a lot better.
Definitely. Have you seen the art book?
No.
Oh man. I've seen quite a few of the 3D models included in the art book.
Did it come? Did it come with the Pip-Boy kit?
I'm not sure. I think the art book came with the limited edition game guide.
Because I mean, I bought the damn kit that came with the Pip-Boy and everything, and to be honest, I just ripped it open and put the game in. I never really went through everything that came in the package.
It might have it. You should probably check. I'm not sure though. But you look through the character art there, and you've got a lot of really incredible stuff. You've got the Super Mutants by Jonah Loeb. Quick shout out to him. He's on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Really good artist, incredible work, and it looks really awesome. My favorite thing is how he merged the old cancerous look of the old Fallout games, 1 and 2 of the Super Mutants, with that really mean, almost emaciated look that Adamowicz put into the concept art for Fallout 3. And then, you've also got renders of the characters, which the character creation system was done by Dennis Mejiones, their lead character guy there. Absolutely incredible. I've always been impressed by their development from game to game as far as art goes. For those of you who don't know, everything I know, I shouldn't say everything, but like 90% of what I know, I have learned by reverse engineering Bethesda's work. So one of my favorite pastimes is watching their artists develop. And I remember the differences between Oblivion, which just uses straight face gen heads and textures, to Fallout 3, which they actually did their own stuff for, and it looked okay, and then to Skyrim, which Dennis also did the heads for, and they looked pretty damn good. They were a lot more lifelike than your basic, still kind of potato-looking Fallout 3 heads. And then you look at the artwork from Fallout 4, as annoying as his character is, Preston Garvey, his head sculpture is absolutely incredible. They've really come a long way as far as art goes, and it's just beautiful. I would definitely recommend you either pick up a copy of the art book, or if you got it, find it, check it out, or just look it up on Google. Yes, Saigon, I almost said Preston Gravy. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm on. Yeah, Dog Neely asks, why is Bethesda good at making large environments but shitty making compelling story? Because they are trying to make a world where you can do anything, and obviously that conflicts with narrative. But also, it's like what I said before, they're not, I don't think they're particularly interested in making a kind of Fallout New Vegas type story.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, when you have such an open-ended world, you've they really do try to allow you to do whatever you want. You know, that's the biggest thing. And it's very, very difficult to interlace all these different story arcs. Because you can, you know, have your character roleplay start out evil and then change your mind halfway through and suddenly become, you know, the angel of the wasteland. And that is extremely hard to write because you no longer have the option to write just linear response, linear storyline. There has to be so much divergence, and it's really difficult to make all those different choices come together. Because even if you've just got, you know, good and evil for your initial karma, if you start out evil and you make an alternate decision every time you have to make one, good, evil, every time the resolution to that quest comes around or some sort of effect, they have to keep track of all these different things. So anywhere along the line, it can fuck up. You know, you can have an accidental, you know, you killed about 30 innocent children, and then you spend the rest of the game making up for that and your roleplay or whatever. The game's still going to have a very difficult time determining what kind of person you are. So it's a lot. Go ahead.
That's one thing where I feel like Bethesda really pads you from ever really playing an evil character. I mean, they don't, like, you can't kill kids, you can't kill essential characters. They really won't let you go totally rogue.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that is up for debate, I guess. Give me 1 second. I mean, as far as killable children goes, you know, there's a huge stigma against that here in the States.
That's just an easy example. But as far as like the M rating goes, I mean, in the original games, like, they called the Med-X morphine,
Yeah.
etc. The buff out with steroids. I mean, it was.
Well, that's Germany, though.
It was-
Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff that Bethesda has to take into account because they are catering to an international audience. You know, in India, Brahmin is a bad word because they worship the cow or whatever. Japan,
Right.
the mini nuke, or the mini nuke launcher, the Fat Man, had to be renamed because the Fat Man was the name of the bomb that we dropped on Nagasaki or Hiroshima. Don't remember which one. Australia, they had to change morphine to Med-X, and that just kind of stayed. You know, there's so much shit that they have to cater to, and it's really unfortunate.
Well, since they aim for such a large audience, I mean, I guess that's a design choice.
Yeah, I mean, it is very unfortunate because, frankly, when I mod my games, I do it in an attempt to make anything possible. You know, I am actually on Lover's Lab. You know, I have used those frameworks before because they provide pretty much unlimited possibilities. I like that high damage, scared shitless, low ammo survival situation where anything can happen. And that's the most important part. And, you know, back in Fallout 1 and 2, you know, you got a lot of questionable content in there. And I love that.
I believe there was, in Fallout 2, there was a Francis the Super Mutant, and if you failed the checks, you'd end up as Gimp.
Yeah, you get fucked by a super mutant. And, you know, that's I don't know if I'd consider that.
But they really earned their mature rating in there, you know?
Yeah. But unfortunately, you know, times have changed and people are a lot more sensitive these days, in particular the rating system. You know, we've got a lot of stuff where it just doesn't work anymore. You know, you got to cater to this international audience.